extra opportunities that will help your campus kitchens grow. So they're a little bit different every year, so we're going to be talking about the ones that are already lined up for next year and some of the ones that are in the pipeline that we hope to be coming up soon. But at any point, if you have questions about subgrants, feel free to get in touch with me or to get in touch with your program manager. So where do you go to apply for Campus Kitchen subgrants? So you'll go to the Campus Kitchen Pantry, move it over here, and you'll go up to Financials and Reporting, and you'll go to Grant Opportunities and to CKP Grants. And then this page will have the updated information about subgrants. So right now we're going to be talking about these CoBank subgrants, so we'll come back to that in a minute. We have 5 subgrants coming up in the next month. Some of you may be familiar with them from last year. We have another 5 $5,000 CoBank subgrants, and these are for rural schools. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Tyler, at the end of our webinar, is going to be talking about what we did with our General Mills CoBank subgrant funding from last year. That got redirected into the Campus Kitchen Center so that instead of offering up some travel scholarships and opportunities to sponsor other campus kitchens, this year our General Mills funding is in the form of kind of in-kind and other supplies that campus kitchens may need. And so any campus kitchen is eligible for those all year long. So Tyler will get to that. And then there are 2 subgrants that we weren't able to finalize by the time of this webinar, but we are hoping are going to be coming up pretty soon. So we have been talking with Sodexo about offering additional subgrant opportunities for campus kitchens who are working on on-campus hunger. So this is an issue that we've heard about from a lot of our schools that we're putting a lot of thought and effort into, and we're really excited that we're going to be able to offer this opportunity for campus kitchens. We know it's a huge need all across our network. And then the last one, a lot of you may be familiar with our Walmart Foundation food waste subgrants from last year. Those are on a slightly different kind of calendar cycle. We don't yet have confirmation that they are reissuing that funding this year, but we're hoping to find out next week, and then we will be applying for that funding. So if that comes out, that'll probably be in January, so stay tuned for both of those opportunities. So let's talk a little bit about the one that's coming up next month, which is our CoBank Rural Hunger Subgrant. So we define rural pretty broadly. So some campus kitchens who've had this subgrant in the past are in a very clearly defined rural area. And some of them are in an area where some of the population that they serve is in a rural area. Some of them may be in a small, larger town or around the university, which itself is a little bit more of a city. But some of those campus kitchens may serve populations who are farther away from their campus center, who are actually in a more rural area. So we deliberately leave that fairly broad, and we leave that up to kind of your judgment on whether you would consider yourself a rural campus or whether you would consider some of your clients in a rural area. But if you have any questions about that, definitely get in touch with me, and we can talk about whether you kind of fit that qualification. So this is a $5,000 grant, so it's fairly substantial. We're open to using the funds for different things, but the main things that we suggest you use them for are to hire a fellow to support your operations. Sometimes this person is more of a boots on the ground, but we also encourage you to think about this person as someone who can help with volunteer recruitment. They can help make sure that your campus kitchen keeps running at spring break, summer break, winter break, fall break, those times when it's really difficult. They can help build up your volunteer network of community volunteers as well. The operations and programming, this can be a wide range of things, whether it's kind of on the operations side, whether you need particular equipment to help you guys expand, or on the programming side, if you need supplies or other materials that are going to help you with your programming. And we can talk about more of the specifics if you have a program in mind. We do ask that our subgrantees attend the Food Waste and Hunger Summit and Boot Camp, and so you can also use your subgrants to help support somebody's travel to either or both of those events. So that grant is going to be due on December 5th by 5 p.m. That's a Monday, so we gave you the extra weekend. And then the materials are where I showed you just a minute ago up on the pantry. Let me pull that up again. So you have the RFP, which will tell you more about the opportunity, and then you have the actual application itself right up there. And then if we're hoping to have that Walmart subgrant soon, and in which case it'll be very similar to last year's application. So this is the sample from last year. Feel free to check that out if you like. We have never offered the Sodexo on-campus hunger grants before, so we don't have a template from last year, but we will, in our monthly newsletters, update you guys about that, or if it's kind of off the cycle, the newsletter will send you out a special update. All right. So what are these rural community hunger co-baked subgrants for? It's increasing your meals, increasing the number of clients or client agencies you're able to serve, or it can be for community programs, whether you're increasing your partnerships with farmers markets, or building a mobile market, or a CSA share program, or you're working with local food hubs, community gardens, nutrition education. We've seen these take a lot of different forms, and we're always excited to see what creative programs you all come up with. And then your responsibilities as a grantee. We do ask that you come to the summit and to boot camp. You all got to save the date for the summit in your recent newsletter. If anybody's not signed up for the newsletter, feel free to let us know. We're happy to sign you up. In your Apricot monthly reports, when you're a grantee, you get an extra section that has some additional questions. And then every quarter, you'll fill out a progress report to let us know how you're doing. And then at the end of the year, you'll be putting together a kind of a final narrative report and then also a best practice toolkit, which can usually take a few different forms. It can be more of a how-to guide, it can be a presentation or webinar for other Campus Kitchens to learn, or it can also be a video about your program. So we also want to share the opportunity to learn from past subgrantees. I know we have a couple on the call. I don't know if I can put you on the spot and ask either Washington and Lee or Kentucky to talk about their experience with subgrants.
Sure. This is Jenny from Washington and Lee. We have used the CoBank subgrant to support our mobile food pantry. We're in a very rural area, and the town center has a food pantry, but we're a 600 square mile county, and transportation tends to be a barrier in terms of accessing those services. So we found community centers such as a library, a senior center, a church in more rural areas, and our project has really been focused on showing up in those spaces to distribute food to remove that barrier.
Great, thank you, Jenny. And they do awesome work at Washington and Lee. It's actually one of their pictures down in the corner. Is there anyone else on the call who'd like to share a little bit about work that they've done with a Campus Kitchen subgrant? Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you is, so our past grantees, both from CoBank and our previous AARP subgrants, were distilled into some books of best practices that we have just finished up. So if you go to the Campus Kitchens Project's website and you go to campuskitchens.org/resources, you'll come to this resources page, and we have a Rural Hunger Solutions book and a Going Beyond the Meal Best Practices for Addressing Senior Hunger book. So these are compilations of a lot of the great work that Campus Kitchens all across the country have been doing. This is a great place for you all to get ideas and to learn from each other. So just to give you a quick snapshot, so the Rural Hunger book, it has kind of background and introductions. That background section, if you guys are writing your own grants or things like that, some of the kind of literature information might be useful for you. And then from there it goes into each of the Campus Kitchen programs. It gives you some background information. It will give you kind of a step-by-step how they created their program. It will walk you through lessons that they learned being a part of this program, and then what they were able to achieve as a result. So it'll walk you through those spreads for each of our Campus Kitchens who are part of that grant program. We are really excited to be able to share this with all of you, and we hope that you'll take a look at that and enjoy it and get engaged and inspired in what everybody else is doing. We've seen some Campus Kitchens take each other's programs and run with them, and it's really great to see people not reinventing the wheel, but kind of learning from each other's best practices. And then the Senior Hunger book, And it's a little bit similar. It's a little more of a case study format. So this also has a background section that could be useful for you guys. There's a literature review on senior hunger and some of the themes we see around isolation, knowledge, and access limitations. And then for each campus kitchen, there's a 2-page spread that gives you some background information about their program and their community and what they were able to achieve. So this one's a little bit shorter, but we're really excited about both of those and hope you will enjoy them. So general strategies for success in either the CoBank subgrant application or for any of the others that we hope are coming up in the next couple of months is make sure you're doing a solid asset-based community development assessment. Use facts, use numbers. Those are always helpful for making your case. Think about your emerging best practices. What can you provide back to the network? I think it's amazing what you're doing for your communities, and it's even more exciting to see that impact trickle down to other communities all across the country. Make sure that your plans are realistic, they're reasonable. Think about SMART objectives. And then make sure that's tied into how you can evaluate your program. You always want to make sure you have a self-check to see if your program's successful, and that lets you continue to make changes as you go along. So focus on your strengths and then also how you can keep growing sustainably. We don't want a program that just is going to fade away at the end of the year. It's always important to think about how you can transition successfully in future years, whether or not this particular subgrant funding continues. And last, just ask for advice. I'm always here, and your program managers are always there for you, so come to us with any questions or comments, and we'd love to hear from you. And now Tyler's going to take it away and talk about the Campus Kitchen Center. Awesome. Thanks, Laura. Everyone just give me a quick second while I get my screen ready. Okay. Sorry about that. So as Laura mentioned, the prizes on the center are from General Mills funding, from the subgrants there. And just to give like a quick overview of the Campus Kitchen Center, I hope that all of you guys are familiar with it, but just in case that you're not, we launched the Campus Kitchen Center in August at Boot Camp, and it's our newest online platform for the Campus Kitchens project, and it's a platform where students can complete actions that they'd normally complete volunteering at a campus kitchen anyway. So things like attending a cooking shift or attending a delivery shift or a food recovery shift or doing a Beyond the Meal program, different things like that that most campus kitchens are doing anyway. So you can actually be eligible to earn prizes for completing those actions. So every action is worth a certain number of points, and the more actions you record on the center, then the more points that you have, and then the more points that you have, then the more prizes that you can get. So I'm going to just show you guys really quickly some of the rewards that we have on the center. Just going to make this a little bit bigger. So I'll just show you. So this is the center and the feed here, and this might be review for some of you, but I just figured I'd look. So here are some of the actions that you can complete, like leading a leadership team meeting or attending campus kitchen shifts. And over here you can see all of the points that each action is worth. And then so when you have a certain number of points, you can go ahead and go over to the rewards section, and you can redeem your points for prizes. So I'm going to just go over some of the awesome prizes that we have on here. The first are some t-shirts that we have. They're divided by size, so we have small, medium, large, and extra large. So we have gray Hunger Fighter shirts. No, I don't think I can click on these actually. So they're kind of hard to see. They're a little small. And then we also have the Hunger Fighter shirts in green. And then we have Fork Hunger shirts in green and in the same gray. We also have a CKP trucker hat, which is awesome. This is the first time we've ever ordered it this year, and there was actually one in the back to school box, so you might have seen this already. And we have shift leader aprons,
And we have a recruitment material package, which is this awesome poster that some of you might have seen before as well. They've been in prior back-to-school boxes. And then some postcards that we have and stickers. And then we also got these cell phone card wallets, which were something that I wasn't really aware of until our summer intern told me about them, but I guess they're very popular on college campuses. They stick onto the back of your smartphone, and they're really handy. Actually, you can put like cards and money in them and different things like that, and the ones that we have are branded like the picture that you see here with CKP's logo. And then we have our Hunger Fighter sunglasses, and then we have bandanas, which are super useful to use in the kitchen as well as the trucker hats, so you can like make sure if you don't want to wear a hairnet, you can tie your hair back with a bandana. So these are some of our awesome prizes on the center. If there's something on here that you would like to see but don't, feel free to send an email to center@campuskitchens.org, and we can see if that's something that we could order, because we're always looking to add more fun prizes that people would like to see. And it's been great that we had some money from General Mills to add these awesome prizes, but definitely let us know if there's anything else that you guys would want to see. And so now we can go ahead and take questions. You can unmute yourselves. I haven't muted anyone, or you can type them in the chat box if anyone has any questions.
Okay, well, hopefully that was pretty straightforward, and a lot of the materials are online for you, but if you have any other questions, feel free at any point to either give me a call or shoot me an email, or again, talk to your program managers, and we hope that you all will think about applying for these and take advantage of some of these opportunities. And again, we'll keep you posted on the other opportunities that we hope to have coming up pretty soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.